resources, this platform that my Father above gave me the authenticity and the ordainmentship to bring to our community today. Carla Day, what's happening?
Hey, what's going on?
Jumbo Love is all the way live and in listening color today. And we're live in the middle of a special Friday. And tomorrow, the people who listen to the Jumbo Love show every Saturday, 8 a.m. to 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, you can hear this interview again. I'm going to replay it at 10 o'clock. But tomorrow, we have a special event that is taking place. Before we get into the event, I want to talk to the sister, learn a little bit more about her and why she went into the information awareness and resource platform on lupus. Carla, introduce yourself to my audience and tell them about you.
Hello, everyone. First, I'd like to say thank you for the opportunity. I am Carla Day, the founder of the Faces of Lupus organization, which is an organization that is dedicated to empowering individuals living with lupus and the community by providing essential support and resources. Uh, I was diagnosed with lupus in 1988, and it was probably in 2010 when I really got heavily involved in becoming an advocate for lupus. So my mission is to basically just to advocate for myself as well as the others, and to educate people about lupus, because there's just not a lot of information out there about it. So that is a little bit about me. I'm very passionate.
No, no, come on, Carla. Who's the little girl dealing with lupus, not knowing, I'm sure, that they didn't even know what you had if
That
it's
is
a
true.
rare disease?
Yes.
Your school, your life, how
Okay.
it went down. Give me some info.
I can definitely do that. So in 1986, when I actually started having issues with different things going on, at that time we did not know that I had lupus, so it took them 2 years to diagnose me with lupus. So from 86 to 88, I had my spleen removed due to the blood, actually due to the lupus actually attacking the blood, causing me to internally bleed. Therefore, they removed my spleen to stop the bleeding. Then I started having joint pains and things of that nature. It wasn't until 1988 when I started having real severe joint pains that I was actually diagnosed with lupus. In June of 1988, the lupus when at that time when I knew I had lupus, it attacked my nervous system and caused me to have seizures, and I was in a coma for 6 weeks. That
Wow.
was probably, yeah, that was probably the spiral. It just kind of, because again, we did not know much about lupus. There was not a lot of information, organizations, or support to help me understand what I was dealing with. So from probably the first 5 years was probably the hardest. Just for me, the lupus has attacked pretty much every organ it probably could attack, from the kidneys, the liver, the lungs, my skin, joints. So I've had my battle. I can truly say I don't look like what I've been through, and I do think that is the passion that's what gave me the passion. And then unfortunately, losing two cousins to complications of lupus also probably fueled the fire to want to do more for people with lupus.
Wow, this is interesting because I told you when we had a conversation yesterday, sickle cell, a lot of diseases that do not get funding to
Mhm.
bring the highlight and awareness of how they affect families and people in our community. But when it affects that family and those people, it's tragic.
Mhm.
Um, as I mentioned before, much like sickle cell, much like autism, much like lupus, early on, I guess from the 80s till about the 2000s, we didn't even know what these diseases were when they happened. They were kind of neglected.
That is
Uh,
true.
Living with lupus, as a person with lupus, as we get ready to go into what this foundation is about, what is lupus? And if you could explain it to just in layman terms, some of the things and the symptoms that you might address every day that people just would not understand?
So lupus, for those that don't know, is a chronic autoimmune disease where our immune system mistakenly attacks our bodies. The way I usually put it is our bodies can't decipher the foreign invader. So therefore it looks at a kidney or heart, lungs, and it says, oh, this is something that this doesn't belong. Therefore our bodies attack self, causing heart conditions, liver, all these different things with our organs. Some of the symptoms, and basically what that is it causes the inflammation around those areas to make those, the heart, causing heart attacks, causing the strokes, different things such as me having the internal bleeding. So I always tell people it is a very unpredictable condition. And I think that's one of the hardest things people don't understand with lupus, because we often hear we don't look sick. Yeah.
I'm so happy. I don't mean to cut you off, but
No, you're good.
this ties into so many of the subject matters. When I talk about some of the chronic diseases that I talked about, Alzheimer's disease, sickle cell, and lupus, the general public does not understand that
Right.
you can have days where you are feeling just perfect.
That is correct.
And all it takes is 1 second, 1 minute, 1 hour of a day for that situation to change.
That
And
is
then
correct.
this chronic disease pops up, and
Mhm.
the people who saw you all joyous and happy and feeling all good cannot understand, how is she feeling like that when I was just with her 2 hours ago?
Oh my God, if you did not say what every lupus patient probably feels, because we do deal with that a lot. A lot of people don't understand it, that, the sun, that can cause a flare. Lupus is a
The
disease,
rain,
the rain, you name it, the snow, it doesn't matter. It just, you
uh,
know,
peppers on your meal,
a
and you
lot
didn't
of
know
things.
peppers. I mean, I'm trying to say this, Carla, because I want people to understand, man. I get this.
Yes,
And when I
I
was going to
appreciate
your
it.
website, I said, wow, how ironic
Hmm.
are the people who are dealing with these chronic diseases, dealing with the same exact thing, where the general public can't even comprehend
Hmm.
what they're dealing with on a day-to-day
On a
basis.
day-to-day basis. And lupus is a disease of mild, or every lupus patient is not the same. So you can't put us all in a same, category, because there are some that have a very mild case of lupus, and there are some who have a very severe case. It just really depends on the individual. And what I want people to understand is the name of the organization, Faces of Lupus, is really not about the condition. That's what we're focusing, but it's about the people that have lupus and what they deal with on a day-to-day basis.
Kind
And
of, kind of like a caregiving service.
it is. It's more supportive. But one of my goals, being an advocate for it, is to definitely educate the community. Um, no question I feel is too crazy to ask, because I feel anytime someone asks me a question, that is my opportunity to educate them on lupus, even if it's just answering that question. And I wish more people would ask the questions and try to understand lupus, and not put a focus on what we look like and what we don't look like. That would just definitely be an overall accomplishment in our community, just in general. And it's not even just in
Let
our
me say
community,
this. Let
it's
me
in
say
our families as well. Families, you'd be surprised on how many family members don't understand lupus, and they're not trying to understand lupus. So I always tell as many people as I can, if you want to support a person with lupus, the biggest way to support them is understand what they go through. And when I say that, it is definitely like you see in our logo. It's the love, understanding, prayers, unity, and the strength. That's what we need, not just from people with lupus, but it's from our community and families as well.
Man, this is beautiful, and I love this. I know that, and the reason I'm smiling so much is because people do not understand that there are resources and information and awareness out here. And I never try to give my opinion about anything. The God that whispered to me and said almost 15 years ago, man, just provide the information, awareness, and resources to the organizations that are helping people of the underserved. And lupus
Yes.
is definitely a disease that is being underserved as far as funding and the research, understanding why lupus happens. And so tell me about some of the programs and services that are offered. And before we go into tomorrow's event, uh, tell us about the programs and services.
Okay. So, Faces of Lupus, as I stated earlier, is basically to encourage and empower. And uh, the programs that have been designed in our organization is strictly based off of the needs that I've seen over my years. One is a supportive network where we're there to support, not just where we have people coming in to talk to us about what we have, but to basically be there when you need us the most, for just someplace, a platform, or a community where you feel understood, welcomed, and received. So that is our support group that we meet every third Saturday of the month. Then we have our Inner Butterfly program. That is our program about tapping into the mental, physical, emotional, and spiritual side of dealing with lupus. That is our wellness program, which that actually kicks off. I'm very excited. November 1st, that program is actually going to be live and up and running, and we're going to be addressing the areas I just spoke about. And then the biggest component that I know, and I know if there's any out there we're not aware of, it's not yet funded, but we are so close to having it funded. That is our PATH program. PATH is Patients Access to Healthcare, and that is the financial component to provide lupus patients the financial funds that they need for healthcare services, such as helping with medication, self co-pays, medical equipment, treatment, procedures, whatever that is to help them be able to get the health care that they need financially. That is what PATH is for. But we also added to be able to pay for mortgage, rent, and our utilities. And that program is very near and dear because I do know a lot of lupus patients struggle financially. A lot of people are not aware. We can have 5 to 6 doctors at one time, depending on what the lupus is attacking. We can go in the hospital at any point. Medications are out the roof, and therefore they struggle on day-to-day living and being able to provide those healthcare needs. So PATH will be the program that will financially help them be able to live beyond the worries and stress of being able to get the treatment and care that they need.
Let me pause you right here
Mm-hmm.
because I am working diligently now, of course, for people over 65, the Medicare uh, system has changed, Medicaid system has changed.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, how important would PATH be to unite with the Medicaid and Medicare providers to explain these changes that have been brought about in the last year with Pathways Indiana and many of the changes? How important would that be for you to have?
It
Uh,
would be very important. I think any platform that we can connect with, collaborate with, to allow us to accomplish the mission would definitely be a life changer for
well, then
everyone.
we're going to talk after this.
Yes, sir.
No, because I am working. I mean, really, I'm trying to explain because many, as you know, as a
Mhm.
patient and a person who is dealing with Medicaid, Medicare, and all the different changes that have happened, you know, but we have a dynamic population that do not know about
Yes.
some of the changes that have been made and some of the help that they can receive if they understand the proper ways to go about handling their business. Now, October the 4th,
Okay.
the Inner Butterfly Wellness event. You know,
Yes.
you guys are getting ready to do something powerful. Tell them about it. What is it about?
So the Inner Butterfly, which is part of our wellness program, that this event that we're having on Saturday, October 4th, it is a program to provide lupus patients other alternative options and resources to help manage their lupus from a holistic place.
Let's slow down.
Go
I
ahead.
told you I deal with some old people. I deal with old people, Carla Day, and people laugh at me all the time, but I'm telling you, my population holistic ain't it's not resonating like uh, your grandma's home cooked remedy to get rid of your cold, if I can make that. So holistic to the people listening right now to Jumbo Love, this is natural, organic
Yes,
way that
yes.
maybe eliminate some of the side effects of lupus. Is that fair?
That would be fair.
I told you I know how to do this, baby.
Yes, you do. Yes, you do. So the natural options that we have, and so I believe, if I'm counting correctly, there are nine vendors that we actually have that will be there to provide various information resources, and each vendor will also be doing like mini presentations to kind of go a little bit a deeper dive into what they're offering to give the constituents that's coming an opportunity to ask questions, but that they'll have tables. The items that they have available will be available for purchasing, but it's just another way. We want to be able to provide all resources. And some people are into the natural healing. Some people are into the medical. We want to be able to provide them whatever it is that they need to thrive.
Man, I am so happy that you mentioned that because, as I like to say, I'm not a proponent of one or the other.
Right.
I know if you go see a doctor and he prescribes you the medicine, I'm not trying to say don't stop using that medicine.
That is
But
correct.
I am saying there are the other options. There are other ways to maybe solve your cure to what it is you're dealing with on the holistic and natural side. Because as I tell people, Carla, Big Pharma started about 110 years ago. How were the people living and lasting with the
That's true.
natural, holistic ways that you can preserve your life before Big Pharma? So
Yeah.
just include that maybe in your thought, and without being personal about my opinion, just check out both. Now, tomorrow,
Hmm.
what should we expect? Tell me about what everyone needs to know about the Inner Butterfly Wellness event.
So
Time, location, what's going to happen.
all right. So doors will open at 10:45. At that time, they can arrive. The vendors will be there. Be able to have an opportunity to visit the tables, talk with the vendors. Like I mentioned just a minute ago, starting at, I believe it's at 11:45 is when the presentations will actually take place. However, the room that we're having them in, seating will be limited. But again, if you miss the presentation, you still have the opportunity to speak with them one-on-one at their table. So we don't want everyone to feel as if they can't make it for the presentation piece of it. You'll still have an opportunity to speak with each of the vendors. We will have a light lunch. We have a few raffle prizes. So it's just a day of connection, a day of education, and a day of resources for those, not just people with lupus, but anyone that is even interested in a healthier lifestyle. So again, it is mainly for people with lupus because that's what we are about. However, if you're looking for other alternative ways of a healthier lifestyle, it's open to you as well. It's a open time frame. So if you're not there at 11, it's over with at 2. So we'll be there from 11 to 2, and we're looking for the community to come out and just get as much information as they possibly can.
And what I'm going to do, as I mentioned to Shar, I wish I would have known about this earlier because I would have come and done the live broadcast. But
Mhm.
tomorrow during the Jumbo Love show, we're going to play this interview again so people can come out and be aware. Before we close,
Yes, sir.
many of the chronic diseases that affect the community that are not well known, like lupus, and I mentioned sickle cell and some of these other diseases that are underfunded. How many people do you think, Carla, are living with lupus and they don't even know that they're living with lupus?
Oh, that's a great question, and it's a trick question because lupus mimics other autoimmune diseases. Therefore, it takes a while for people to get diagnosed. I know there's
This sounds like, I don't mean to cut you off.
no
This
problem.
sounds like a cousin to AIDS almost.
But it's not. It's really. I'm gonna be honest. If I put it in layman's terms, lupus is a. I always say it is a hodgepodge of every autoimmune disease because it
Wow.
kind of to me has. It has similarities of vitiligo because it attacks the skin. It has, MS because it can attack the muscles. I mean, so lupus. When you have lupus, it is
Preying on the weak deficiencies in your system.
our bodies from head to toe. Hair,
Yes.
lupus patients lose their hair. They can
Yeah.
have eyesight, their hearing, their skin, their joints, their organs. So every part of our body is at some time can be at war with self. And that is why it's so hard for people to understand because they can't see the illness. That's why it's called the invisible illness. Because it
Like
is
a
invisible.
predator.
Yeah, it is. It's a predator. The lupus in Latin means fox. So can you imagine being attacked by a fox at any given time, any day? That's what I kind of tell people. That's what it's like living with lupus. You can be
Well,
attacked.
here's what I want to say to you, my sister.
Mhm.
My spirit touches me when I meet angels. And number one, congratulations for overcoming and dealing with this disease and being 60 and making sure that you can still spread the message and information awareness about how we can be aware of this disease. And number two, this platform and this stage, we're going to bring some information, awareness, and resources about lupus like you ain't never seen, my
I'm
sister.
ready.
That's how I roll. That's why Shar said, Jumbo, I have a friend that you need
Yes,
to talk to.
I'm ready.
Congratulations tomorrow. And as I mentioned, we're going to play this and make sure that people can come out one more time for the people who don't know about the event tomorrow.
The Inner Butterfly Holistic Wellness Health Fair tomorrow at 8330 NAB Road Professional Building from 11 to 2. Come out, join us, get connected, and learn about other ways to manage lupus and or healthier lifestyles.
I appreciate you and good luck tomorrow. And we'll be talking soon, my queen.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Absolutely.